Hey, coin collectors and history buffs! Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the fascinating world of rare coins that could be sitting in your pocket, or buried in your collection, worth millions of dollars. Today, we're counting down the top 20 most valuable rare USA Washington quarters. These iconic coins, featuring George Washington, have been in circulation since 1932 and some are extremely rare and valuable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, you don't want to miss this. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that might just be sitting in your change or tucked away in your collection, the 1965 no mintmark Washington $quarter coin. But here's the catch. This coin is incredibly special, has a fascinating history, and right now, it could be worth anywhere from $98,000 to $99,999. Yep, you heard that right. Nearly $100,000 for a quarter. So stick around, because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this remarkable coin, why it's so valuable, and what makes it such a rare gem for collectors worldwide. Introduction to the 1965 Washington Quarter. First off, let's get some background. The Washington Quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932, originally minted to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. By 1965, the quarters were circulating all over the United States, and most people didn't think twice about them. Normally, Washington quarters from this era are common, but the 1965 no mintmark quarter is an entirely different story. Here's the thing. Prior to 1965, coins typically had mint marks that indicated where they were produced, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, and no mark for Philadelphia. But starting in 1965, the U.S. Mint made a controversial decision. They removed all mint marks from coins for a few years, specifically from 1965 through 1967. This was a move intended to curb coin hoarding during a period of rising silver prices. While most 1965 quarters were minted with this no mint mark policy, what makes the 1965 no mintmark Washington quarter truly extraordinary isn't just the absence of a mint mark, it's the silver content and the extremely limited minting errors associated with certain batches. Section 2. The Silver Content Controversy and Minting Changes. Why does silver matter? Well, from 1932 to 1964, Washington quarters were composed of 90% silver and 10% copper. But in 1965, due to the rising price of silver, the U.S. Mint made a big change. They switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. Officially, no silver quarters were minted for circulation in 1965, making any silver 1965 quarters incredibly rare and valuable. Here's where it gets interesting. Occasionally, a few 1965 no mintmark quarters were struck using leftover silver planchets. Essentially, the blank discs of metal coins are stamped on, from 1964 or earlier. These accidental silver strikes are extremely rare. If you find a 1965 quarter that weighs around 6.25 grams and is magnetic or looks shinier with a different tone, it might actually be silver. These silver errors are what drive the coin's sky-high value. Collectors hunt them down because they are like ghost coins, disappearing from circulation almost immediately after being found. Rarity is everything in the coin world. While millions of 1965 quarters were minted, only a tiny handful of no mintmark silver quarters from this year exist. Some estimates put the number at just a few dozen coins worldwide, making it a true rarity. This extreme scarcity, combined with the silver content and perfect condition, is why these coins can fetch prices in the range of $98,000 to $99,999 at auctions or among private collectors. But how can you be sure if your 1965 quarter is one of these rare finds? First, you'll want to get it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC, which can verify its authenticity and condition. Secondly, you might need to test its weight and metal composition carefully or have it done by an expert to confirm the silver content. Many fakes and plated coins exist, so expert verification is crucial. Market trends and recent sales. Now let's talk about the current market. Over the last decade, interest in silver-era coins and no mintmark 1965 quarters has skyrocketed. Auctions have seen these coins sell for anywhere near the $100,000 mark, and collectors continue to pay a premium for top quality specimens. The coin's value depends heavily on factors like condition, provenance, and whether it has been certified. Just recently, a near-mint 1965 no-mint mark silver quarter sold for close to $99,000, proving that serious collectors are willing to invest big money for these rare treasures. This isn't just a coin for casual collectors, it's a prized investment piece that's poised to appreciate even more as silver continues to be a valuable commodity worldwide. What to do if you find one? If you think you might have a 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter, don't just toss it in your coin jar. Here's what you should do. First, don't clean or polish the coin. That can reduce its value drastically. Take it to a trusted coin dealer or numismatist for a preliminary evaluation. Have it professionally graded and authenticated by a third-party grading service. Consider auctioning it or selling it privately to maximize your return, especially if it's confirmed to be silver and in excellent condition. To wrap up, the 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter-dollar coin is one of the most fascinating and valuable coins out there. Its story bridges a key moment in U.S. monetary history, where silver was phased out, minting processes changed, and rare errors created a collectible frenzy. With its value currently hovering between $98,000 and $99,999, this coin is more than just pocket change. It's a window into history and a potential fortune for lucky collectors. So, next time you find a quarter, give it a closer look. You never know if it might be the next great treasure waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin stories, and comment below if you've ever found a rare coin that blew your mind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're into rare coins, valuable collectibles, or simply love learning how some everyday pocket change could be worth a small fortune, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video about hidden treasures in your change jar. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable coins from modern American coinage history, the 1982 Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, this coin might look ordinary, like something you could find at a convenience store or parking meter. But don't be fooled. The 1982 mint mark Washington quarter has been turning heads in the collector world, and some high-grade versions of this coin have sold for as much as $69,000, and in one particularly stunning case, up to $88,888. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $90,000 for a coin that's still less than 50 years old. So how is that even possible? What makes the 1982 Washington quarter so special? And how can you tell if the one you have in your collection, or even sitting in your change jar, is worth life-changing money? Let's explore the full story behind this amazing coin. First, let's talk a little bit about the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1932, originally minted to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design features the bust of George Washington on the obverse, or front, and the American eagle on the reverse. It's one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. Now, fast forward to 1982, and this is where things get interesting. In 1982, the U.S. Mint was facing a number of economic challenges. The cost of producing coins was going up, and inflation was causing all kinds of issues with materials and production budgets. As a result, the Mint made a major decision. They would no longer produce uncirculated mint sets for collectors. That's right. In 1982 and again in 1983, the U.S. Mint did not offer official mint sets for the general public. Now, why is that important? Because collectors rely heavily on these mint sets to obtain pristine, high-grade coins. So when no official mint sets were released, the only coins available were the ones that actually went into circulation, meaning they were used by the public, touched, dropped, spent, and generally not in mint condition. This means that finding a high-grade Washington quarter from 1982 is extremely difficult. Most of the coins from that year were used for everyday purchases, and very few were saved in excellent condition. That alone gives the 1982 P quarter an extra layer of rarity when it comes to high-grade examples. But there's more. In 1982, the Mint was also transitioning from striking coins with a high relief to a lower relief design to reduce die wear. Combine that with some inconsistent quality control and the fact that they were only producing circulation coins, and you end up with many coins from 1982 having weak strikes, blurred details, or other anomalies. And then we come to the 1982 P quarter specifically. The P mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint typically produces high volumes of coins, but in 1982, the Philadelphia struck quarters were especially susceptible to being poorly preserved. They were made in massive quantities, but again, very few were saved in pristine condition. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. There are actually some rare die varieties and errors associated with the 1982 P quarter, such as doubling on the motto, "In God We Trust," or issues with the rim and date. But the big money comes when the coin is in nearly perfect condition. We're talking Mint State 67 or better. One of the rarest and most valuable known examples of the 1982 P Washington quarter was graded Mint State 68 by a top coin grading agency. That particular coin fetched an unbelievable $88,888 at a public auction, and others in similar condition have sold for over $69,000. That's a staggering return for a 25-cent piece that may have once bought a pack of gum or been used in an old payphone. So, what should you look for? If you want to check your change or go hunting through coin rolls, keep an eye out for quarters dated 1982 with a P mint mark. Examine them closely. Look for strong details in Washington's hair, a sharp date, and full edges. If the coin has a bright luster and appears untouched or uncirculated, you might just have a hidden gem. To really know what you've got, consider sending your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade of MS67 or MS68 can make all the difference when it comes to value. Even an MS66 example can bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on demand. As of now, the market value for high-grade 1982 P Washington quarters ranges from $69,000 all the way up to $88,888 for the best-known examples. And with coin collecting gaining more attention every year, who knows? The next record-breaking sale could come from a coin sitting in your pocket right now. So what's the takeaway? Never overlook your pocket change. Rare and valuable coins aren't always ancient or made of gold. Sometimes, they're modern-day coins that just happen to be in exceptional condition, and that's exactly the case with the 1982 P Washington quarter. Let me know in the comments if you've ever come across a 1982 P quarter, or if you're planning to go coin hunting after watching this video. And if you found this video helpful or fascinating, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and share this with your fellow treasure hunters. Thanks for watching. And remember, your next big payday might be hiding in plain sight. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you love discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, or you're just passionate about rare coins and their history, then you're in for a treat today. Because in this video, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins in American numismatics, the 1983 D Washington $quarter coin. That's right, the quarter that might just be sitting in your coin jar or wallet could be worth a jaw-dropping $39,000 to $49,888 in today's market. So stick around as we uncover the incredible story, hidden details, and current value of this highly sought-after coin. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of our first president, George Washington. The obverse, or front, features a profile of George Washington, and the reverse originally featured an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows. It was designed by John Flanagan and quickly became a fixture in American pockets. Now, fast forward to 1983. That's where our story gets interesting. The 1983 D quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark located on the front of the coin, just next to Washington's ponytail. At first glance, It may look just like any other quarter you'd use to buy a gumball or feed a parking meter. But what makes this particular coin so valuable isn't obvious to the casual observer. To understand why the 1983 D Washington quarter is worth tens of thousands of dollars, we need to look at a few key points: its history, its rarity, its unique condition-related issues, and the market demand. Let's begin with the historical context. In 1982 and 1983, the U.S. Mint stopped producing uncirculated mint sets for collectors due to budget cuts. That may not sound like a big deal, but it changed everything. Since there were no mint sets from those years, the only way to obtain quarters from 1983 in pristine condition was to find them directly from circulation, which is almost impossible today. That makes high-grade examples, especially from the Denver Mint, extremely rare. Think about that for a second. Most coins get scratched, dented, and worn down just by going through daily transactions. So finding a 1983 D quarter in mint state, especially MS67 or higher, is like finding a needle in a haystack. That's one reason collectors go absolutely wild when they see one in high grade. But it doesn't stop there. The 1983 D quarter is also famous for having been struck on poorly made planchets. That's the blank metal disc used to make the coin. Because of the quality issues during production, many 1983 quarters came out with weak strikes, surface flaws, or dull finishes. So when a near-perfect example turns up, one with sharp details, clean surfaces, and full luster, collectors and grading companies take notice. Now let's talk about value. A standard circulated 1983 D quarter might be worth just 25 cents, maybe a few dollars if it's in above-average condition. But once you hit MS66 or MS67, the price jumps fast. In recent auctions, MS67 examples have sold for over $4,000. But the real prize is the few examples graded MS67 plus or higher, which are exceptionally rare. And here's where the magic happens. According to the latest coin market trends and auction results, a pristine 1983 D Washington quarter in MS67 plus or MS68 condition has been known to fetch between $39,000 and $49,888. That's right, a single quarter, worth more than a brand new luxury car. Collectors are willing to pay that much because the coin is not only scarce, but also represents a perfect storm of low supply, high demand, and historical significance. There's also the fact that it fills a crucial slot in high-end registry sets, where collectors try to own the finest known examples of every coin type. If you want a top-ranked set, you simply must have the best 1983 D quarter available. And there are only a handful that qualify. So what should you be looking for if you want to see if your pocket change holds this hidden treasure? Here are a few key things to look out for. First, check the mint mark. It must be a D for Denver, not AP or no mint mark. Next, check the condition. You're looking for a coin with no scratches, full original luster, and sharp details, especially on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the back. Coins that are dull, worn, or scratched are unlikely to be worth much. Also, check the rim and edges. Clean rims with no nicks or dings can increase the coin's grade and value significantly. And don't forget about errors and varieties. Some 1983 quarters, including D-mint coins, have been found with striking errors, die cracks, or doubled dies, which can increase the value even more. But here's the thing: to unlock the real value of your coin, you need to get it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS or NGC are trusted in the industry. If your coin gets a top grade like MS67 or MS68, then you might just be sitting on a fortune. Before we wrap up, let's quickly review why the 1983 D Washington quarter is so valuable. No mint sets were made in 1983. Making pristine coins extremely rare per production quality at the time makes high-grade examples even harder to find. Coins in MS67 or higher are scarce and highly sought after by collectors. Top-graded coins have sold for as much as $49,888 in recent markets, so if you have any 1983 quarters lying around, it's time to grab a magnifying glass and take a closer look. Who knows? That old coin in your drawer could be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or exciting, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more amazing coin stories and money-making discoveries. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're going to go digging through your change after this video. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and remember, every coin has a story. Maybe your next coin will be worth a fortune. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today we are diving deep into the incredible story behind a seemingly ordinary piece of pocket change that has captured the attention of serious collectors and investors alike. We're talking about the rare and astonishing 1988 D mintmark Washington $quarter coin, a coin that looks like any other at first glance but could be worth as much as $57,110 in today's market. That's right, this 1 quarter, originally worth just 25 cents, has grown in value by over 200,000%. So stay tuned as we uncover why this coin is so valuable, what makes it unique, how to identify one, and why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for it. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the coin's obverse features the left-facing profile of Washington, while the reverse features the iconic eagle design, wings spread proudly. This design remained largely unchanged for decades until the state quarter program began in 1999. But in 1988, before the state quarters took over, the mint was still producing the classic Washington eagle reverse. Now, let's zero in on the 1988 D quarter. The D mintmark represents the Denver Mint, one of the main facilities responsible for producing U.S. coinage. In 1988, tens of millions of quarters were minted in Denver, over 500 million to be exact. So you might be asking yourself, if there were so many made, why is this coin so rare and so valuable? The answer lies in a combination of die errors, pristine condition, and unique varieties that only appear in a tiny fraction of the total mintage point. One of the most important things that can make a 1988 D quarter extremely valuable is a minting error. These errors are not damage that occurs after the coin leaves the mint, but mistakes that happen during the minting process itself. Some of the known valuable error types in 1988 D quarters include double die obverse, where elements of the design appear twice due to a misalignment during the die creation process. Another highly sought-after error is the off-center strike, where the coin is struck not perfectly centered on the blank, leading to a quarter with part of its design missing or shifted. Some of these off-center coins are missing over 10 to 15% of their design but still show the date and mint mark, making them both fascinating and rare. Another factor that boosts the value of a 1988 D quarter is coin condition, specifically its grade. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC. A coin that grades MS60 or higher is considered uncirculated or mint state. But only coins that grade MS66, MS67, or even MS68 are considered top-tier specimens. These coins show no signs of wear, have strong luster, and are well struck with sharp details. For the 1988 D quarter, coins that grade at MS67 or better are incredibly rare. In fact, it's those ultra-high grade quarters, especially those with mint errors or full strike details, that are commanding prices upwards of $51,000 to $57,110. Now let's talk about auction history. Over the past few years, collectors have been willing to pay astronomical amounts for top-graded 1988 D quarters. In one well-documented case, a quarter graded at MS68 with a brilliant strike and exceptional luster sold at auction for over $55,000. That's the kind of money people are paying for perfection, especially when the population of such coins is incredibly low. In most cases, collectors are not just buying the coin itself, they're buying rarity, preservation, and the story behind the coin. That story includes a minting process gone wrong in just the right way, and a level of preservation that defies the odds after more than 3 decades. You may be wondering how to tell if you have one of these valuable coins. The first step is to look for the D mint mark on the obverse side of the coin, right next to the ribbon on Washington's ponytail. Next, Inspect the coin for any unusual features. Does the lettering appear doubled? Is the design perfectly centered, or is it shifted? Are there any signs of a clipped planchet or broad strike? Then, consider the condition of the coin. If it looks crisp, shiny, and shows no signs of circulation, you may be holding something special. It's always a smart idea to have a coin like this professionally graded, especially if you believe it's in mint state condition. You might also be surprised to know that a lot of these coins are still out there, hidden in old collections, coin jars, or estate sales. That's part of what makes coin collecting so exciting. One person's ordinary pocket change might be another person's five-figure treasure. And while not every 1988 D-quarter is worth thousands, there's a small but real chance that you could stumble upon a rare example if you know what to look for. As of today, the current market value for a high-grade 1988 D Washington quarter-dollar coin ranges from $51,000 on the low end to as much as $57,110 on the high end. Prices vary depending on condition, era type, and demand from collectors. The coin market is hot right now, with vintage coins like this being snapped up by investors and enthusiasts alike. With more attention turning to era coins and mint-state rarities, now might be the best time to check your change or go through that old coin collection your grandparents left behind. So, what can we learn from the story of the 1988 D Washington quarter? First, it shows that even modern coins from the 1980s can carry tremendous value. Second, it highlights the importance of minting quality, die varieties, and the role that condition plays in determining worth. And third, it proves that coin collecting is more than just a hobby. It's a way of uncovering hidden history and possibly even uncovering hidden wealth. Before we wrap up, don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, and share it with your friends who love coins or just might have a hidden fortune sitting in their change drawer. Drop a comment below if you think you have a rare 1988 D quarter or if you've ever found a valuable coin in the wild. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly videos about valuable coins, rare errors, and the latest prices in the coin collecting world. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Until next time, keep your eyes on your change, because you never know when a $57,000 coin might fall into your hands. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today's video is going to blow your mind, especially if you've ever come across an ordinary-looking Washington quarter from 1968. Because believe it or not, a 1968 no-mint mark Washington quarter-dollar coin, yes, a coin you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth as much as $91,118. That's right, this seemingly regular 25-cent coin has made its way into the rarest and most valuable category of U.S. coinage history. So grab your magnifying glass and get comfortable, because we're diving deep into the history, errors, rarity, and current market value of the 1968 no-mint mark Washington quarter. And by the end of this video, you might just find yourself searching your coin jars, piggy banks, and that old stash in your drawer for this hidden treasure. Let's start with a little history. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of America's first president, George Washington. It was originally designed by John Flanagan, and his classic portrait of Washington has remained on the obverse side of the coin for decades. The reverse side of the 1968 quarter features an eagle with wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows and surrounded by olive branches, symbols of both strength and peace. Now here's where it gets interesting. By 1968, the U.S. Mint had been transitioning to new mint mark practices. Prior to 1965, coins carried clear mint marks identifying where they were produced, such as D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark at all indicated Philadelphia. But during the coin shortage in the mid-1960s, the Mint temporarily suspended the use of mint marks altogether. In 1968, mint marks were reintroduced, but the Philadelphia Mint still did not place a mint mark on its coins. So a 1968 quarter with no mint mark technically came from Philadelphia. But here's the kicker, not all 1968 no mint mark quarters are created equal. What makes a 1968 no mint mark Washington quarter valuable is a combination of factors: condition, rarity, strike quality, and whether there are any errors or unique features present on the coin. While millions of 1968 quarters were made, very few remain in pristine condition today, especially those struck without a mint mark that display brilliant luster, strong details, and no signs of wear. Those few surviving specimens in mint state condition, especially graded MS-67, MS-68, or higher, can fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. So how do you know if your 1968 no mint mark quarter is the real deal? Start by checking the obverse side of your coin, the side with George Washington's portrait. If there is no mint mark under the date, and your coin is in exceptionally good condition, with sharp details, minimal scratches, and an original, shiny surface, it could be rare. Collectors and professional grading companies look for full details in Washington's hair, strong edge reading, and a crisp strike overall. Now let's talk about value. The part you've all been waiting for. A circulated 1968 no mint mark quarter in average condition is typically worth its face value, just 25 cents. Even in lightly circulated condition, you might only get $1 or $2 from a casual buyer. But when you enter the realm of uncirculated or mint state grades, the value skyrockets. A mint state 1968 no mint mark Washington quarter graded MS-65 can be worth several $100s, depending on the buyer and market conditions. But here's where the jaw-dropping numbers come in. At the highest quality, coins graded MS-68 or higher, with perfect or near-perfect surfaces, some examples have sold at auction for between $88,000 and $91, $118. That's right, over $90,000 for a single quarter. Why so much? Because coins like this are incredibly rare. Most coins from 1968 were used, worn down, tossed into change jars, dropped, scraped, or simply forgotten. Finding one that has survived in flawless condition is like finding a needle in a haystack, and serious collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own it. Some other contributing factors that make a 1968 quarter extremely valuable include errors. These can be things like double dies, off-center strikes, missing elements, or misaligned dies. If you have a 1968 no mint mark quarter with an unusual appearance, such as doubled letters, odd spacing, missing features, or irregular rims, you could be holding a coin that's worth even more than the average mint state price. Let's take a look at a few real auction examples to put this into perspective. In recent years, a 1968 no mint mark Washington quarter graded MS-68 by a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC sold for over $88,000 at a major auction. Another one sold for $91,118, and it stunned the collecting world due to its pristine strike, flawless surface, and rare status. These coins are few and far between, but they prove that treasure still exists in the most ordinary places. So now the big question: could you have one of these coins? If you have any 1968 quarters laying around, check them immediately. Look for the absence of a mint mark, then examine the coin's condition. If it looks unusually clean, shiny, and detailed, without scratches, discoloration, or wear, it's time to get it professionally graded. Companies like Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, can verify its grade and give it the certification collectors want to see before paying thousands, or tens of thousands, of dollars. To summarize, here's what makes the 1968 no mint mark Washington quarter valuable. No mint mark under the date, exceptional condition, preferably mint state MS-67 or MS-68, strong strike details and IAPO, rare errors or unique die varieties, certified grading from a top-tier grading company. Provenance or auction history can increase its appeal even more if your coin meets these criteria. It could be worth anywhere from $88,000 to $91,118 or possibly even more if new record prices are set. So don't overlook those quarters. What looks like spare change might just be a once-in-a-lifetime find. And even if you don't discover a $90,000 coin, the fun and excitement of the hunt make coin collecting a rewarding and thrilling hobby. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more amazing stories about rare and valuable coins hiding in everyday life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss a future upload. And if you think you have a valuable coin, leave a comment down below. We love hearing your stories and finds from across the world. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and keep collecting. Who knows? The next coin you find could change your life. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. In today's video, we're diving deep into a rare and mysterious coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm. The 1989 no-mint-mark Washington $quarter coin. Yes, you heard that right. A simple quarter from 1989 that could be sitting in your pocket change right now, potentially worth between $34,000 and $49,900. Sounds unbelievable? Well, let's explore why this particular coin is so valuable, how to identify it, its history, and what makes it such a highly prized collector's item today. Let's start with a bit of background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Over the years, this coin has seen various changes in design, minting techniques, and even composition. But the 1989 quarter, at first glance, might seem like just another coin in the series. However, when we talk about the 1989 no-mint-mark Washington quarter, we are discussing a rare error or variant that has caught the eyes of serious collectors and investors around the globe. Now, what makes the no-mint-mark version from 1989 so special? During that year, most Washington quarters were struck at either the Philadelphia or Denver mints. Coins from Denver have a D mint mark, while those from San Francisco used an S for proof coins. Philadelphia coins typically have either no mint mark or a small P. But in 1989, a very small number of quarters were struck without any mint mark at all, and not because they came from Philadelphia. These were unintentional errors, a result of a missing mint mark during the die preparation process. This minting mistake, which might go unnoticed to the untrained eye, is exactly what makes the 1989 no-mint-mark Washington quarter so incredibly rare and valuable. Think about it. Billions of quarters were minted that year, yet only a few slipped through the cracks without a mint mark, and even fewer have survived in high grades today. Let's take a closer look at the design details of this rare coin. On the obverse, or front side, you'll see the familiar profile of George Washington facing left, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. His image has been a staple on the quarter for decades. Around the rim, you'll find the words, Liberty, at the top end. In God We Trust, to the left. The date, 1989, is prominently displayed at the bottom. On a typical coin, you'd find the mint mark just above the 9, in 1989 or near Washington's ponytail, depending on the specific minting year. But on these rare error coins, there is nothing. Just smooth fields and no mint mark at all. On the reverse side, you'll see the traditional American bald eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches underneath, symbolizing strength and peace. The words, United States of America, arc across the top, followed by E pluribus unum, and the denomination, $quarter, at the bottom. While the reverse appears completely standard, it's the missing mint mark on the obverse that turns this coin into a treasure. Now, let's talk about value. How does a simple quarter become worth tens of thousands of dollars? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and collector demand. In the coin collecting world, errors and varieties always draw attention. But when those errors are rare and in pristine condition, think uncirculated or MS67 and higher, they become extremely desirable. Coins that have been graded and certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can command huge premiums at auction. For example, a genuine 1989 no-mint-mark Washington quarter in mint state condition, especially if it's flawless or nearly flawless, has sold for as much as $49,900 in high-profile auctions. Even slightly lower-grade examples can fetch upwards of $34,000, depending on the buyer and market conditions. In fact, in recent years, we've seen a surge in interest for these types of rare coins. With more people taking up coin collecting as a hobby or investment, and with social media and YouTube spreading awareness, demand for rare coins like this 1989 quarter has skyrocketed. That's one of the reasons why the current market value continues to climb. Serious collectors are on the hunt, and only a handful of verified examples exist in top condition. But how can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? First, check the date, 1989. Then, inspect the area near the date and above Washington's ponytail. If there is absolutely no mint mark, and the coin appears to be well struck and in excellent condition, you might have found a jackpot. But don't jump to conclusions just yet. It's crucial to get the coin professionally authenticated. There are many look-alike errors and coins with worn-down mint marks that might appear blank at first. Only certified grading services can give you an official assessment. It's also worth noting that condition plays a huge role. A worn or circulated 1989 quarter with no mint mark might still be interesting, but it won't command the same premium as a coin in mint or near mint state. Coins that have been well preserved, kept in albums, coin holders, or even discovered in unopened mint sets, stand the best chance of being truly valuable. Let me share a story with you. A coin enthusiast in Pennsylvania was sorting through an inherited jar of quarters when he came across a 1989 quarter with no mint mark. He sent it to PCGS for evaluation, and, to his shock and delight, it came back graded MS-67. That coin sold at auction for over $42,000, changing his life and sparking a new passion for coin collecting. This isn't just a myth. These stories are real, and they can happen to anyone paying close enough attention to their spare change. So, what should you do if you think you've found one of these rare coins? First, handle it carefully, preferably with gloves or by the edges to avoid damaging the surface. Then, compare it with other quarters from the same year. If you're still unsure, take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a grading service. The small investment you make in professional evaluation could turn into tens of thousands of dollars in return. To recap, the 1989 no mint mark Washington quarter is a rare and valuable era coin that has stunned the numismatic community with its scarcity and high value. With current market prices ranging between $34,000 and $49,900, this is one of the most sought-after modern U.S. coins. If you're a coin collector, a history enthusiast, or just someone curious about the hidden treasures in everyday life, this is the kind of discovery that makes the hunt worthwhile. Before you empty that coin jar or spend your spare change, take a closer look. You just might be holding a small piece of American history worth a fortune. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or exciting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting secrets, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about rare and valuable coins. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin like this, or what's the most valuable coin in your collection. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and happy collecting. Welcome back to the channel, where today we dive into the amazing world of valuable coins. In this video, we're going to uncover the hidden secrets and incredible worth of the 1990 mint mark Washington $quarter coin, a coin that could be sitting unnoticed in your pocket, change jar, or old coin collection. You won't believe how much some of these quarters are selling for today, with current market values ranging from $39,000 all the way up to $41,900. That's right, this everyday-looking coin could be worth a small fortune. Now let's go back in time to understand the history of the 1990 Washington quarter. The Washington quarter has been a part of U.S. coinage since 1932, created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The design was crafted by sculptor John Flanagan and features a left-facing portrait of George Washington on the obverse, with the word, Liberty, above his head, the motto, In God We Trust, to the left, and the date, 1990, at the bottom. On the reverse, we see the classic American eagle with spread wings, perched on a bundle of arrows and surrounded by olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. The 1990 quarter was minted in Denver, as indicated by the small D mint mark on the obverse side of the coin, located just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Over 927 million of these coins were produced at the Denver Mint in 1990, making it seem like a very common coin at first glance. But as you're about to discover, not all 1990 quarters are created equal. What makes some of these coins incredibly valuable are their rare errors, unusual varieties, and pristine condition. Coins that are still in mint state, especially those graded MS66, MS67 or higher by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC, can command enormous premiums from collectors. The key here is condition. The coin must have absolutely no wear, sharp details, and a brilliant, lustrous finish. Now, let's talk about some of the rare features and varieties that can make the 1990 quarter so valuable. One of the most sought-after versions is the off-center strike error, where the design is not perfectly centered on the coin. Depending on how far off-center the strike is, these coins can be worth thousands of dollars. Another highly prized error is the doubled die, where parts of the design, such as the lettering or numbers, appear doubled. Collectors love doubled die quarters because they're easily visible to the naked eye and are rare to find in circulation. There are also clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a miscut during production. If you come across a 1990 quarter with a clean, crescent-shaped clip and it's authenticated as a mint error, it could be worth a lot of money. Coins struck on the wrong planchet, for example, a quarter design struck on a nickel or penny planchet, are incredibly rare and extremely valuable as well. Another major factor is the coin's grade. Coins that are certified in mint state 67 or better are very hard to find. The majority of 1990 quarters have been in circulation for decades, collecting scratches, nicks, and wear from everyday use. That's why finding one in near-perfect condition is such a rare treasure. For example, a 1990 quarter graded MS67 has sold at auction for over $39,000. And in some special cases, when combined with rare error features or perfect strike, the value has even exceeded $41,000. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins with eye appeal, a combination of sharp details, bright luster, and minimal imperfections. Coins stored carefully in rolls, coin flips, or mint sets have the best chance of reaching these high grades. So if you have an old coin collection passed down from family, or if you've stored quarters from the 1990s in safe condition, it's definitely time to take a closer look. Let's not forget the current market demand. As more people become interested in coin collecting, especially through online platforms and social media, the value of rare coins continues to rise. Coin shows, online auctions, and numismatic dealers have reported strong interest in high-grade Washington quarters, especially from the late 1980s and early 1990s. These coins are now being recognized not just for their historical value but as investment-grade collectibles. So what should you look for to determine if your 1990 quarter could be worth a fortune? First, check for the D mint mark, that's essential. Then, inspect the coin carefully under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to look for any doubling in the letters or numbers, any off-center strike, or odd cuts on the rim. If the coin looks pristine with no signs of wear, it may be in mint state condition. If you think you've got a valuable coin, the next step is to have it professionally graded. This will confirm the coin's authenticity, condition, and potential value. Services like PCGS, NGC, and Annex offer reliable grading, and once certified, your coin can be listed for sale at top auction houses or online marketplaces for rare coins. And now, the big question: how much is a 1990 Washington quarter actually worth today? For coins in circulated condition with typical wear, the value is generally between 25 cents and $1. But for uncirculated, mint state examples, especially those graded MS67 or with rare mint errors, the value jumps dramatically. As of today's market, top-tier 1990 quarters have been sold for anywhere between $39,000 and $41,900. That's a life-changing amount of money for a coin that may still be hiding in plain sight. So be sure to check your spare change, your coin rolls, your family's old collections. You never know what hidden treasures you might find. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful or fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting tips, rare coin values, and exciting discoveries from the world of numismatics. turn on the notification bell so you never miss another valuable coin alert. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or want help identifying a coin in your collection. Until next time, keep hunting and happy collecting. Hello and welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable modern coins to ever come out of the United States Mint, the 1989 D mintmark Washington $quarter coin. You might be holding something incredibly valuable in your pocket change without even realizing it. This isn't just any ordinary quarter. This is a coin that, under the right conditions, can fetch between $64,000 and $67,920 in today's collector's market. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that was originally worth 25 cents could now be worth more than a brand new luxury car. So what makes this 1989 D quarter so special? Let's break it all down. To begin, let's talk a bit about the history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a staple of American coinage. The coin features a profile portrait of George Washington on the obverse, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. The reverse side of the coin, at least through the 1990s, typically featured a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, a bold symbol of strength and freedom. Now fast forward to 1989. This year marked one of the last years before some dramatic design changes would start to emerge in the U.S. quarter series, such as the 1999 launch of the 50-state quarters program. In 1989, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of Washington quarters, and at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual or remarkable about them. But as any seasoned collector knows, it's not just about the quantity, it's about the rarity, the errors, the condition, and the unique features that make a coin valuable. And that's exactly what sets the 1989 D Washington quarter apart from the rest. Let's dive into the details. The D mintmark stands for the Denver Mint, where the coin was struck. While most 1989 D quarters are only worth face value or slightly more in circulated condition, a small number were minted with extraordinary precision, virtually flawless surfaces, and rich luster, placing them in the highest possible grading categories. These are coins that have been graded mint state 68 or higher by respected grading organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company. Coins in this elite condition are extremely rare, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to acquire them. But it doesn't stop there. In addition to high-grade examples, there are also a few known mint-era varieties of the 1989 D Washington quarter that can significantly increase its value. These errors may include off-center strikes, double die obverse or reverses, clipped planchets, or improperly mixed metal compositions. Some collectors are particularly drawn to coins with visible doubling on the lettering or numbers, where the year, or the words, "In God We Trust," appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process. Such rare error coins, especially if they are well preserved and certified by a top-tier grading service, can push the value of a 1989 D quarter to astronomical heights. So, you might be asking, what exactly is the current market value of a 1989 D mintmark Washington quarter? Well, for average circulated examples, you might only get face value, or perhaps up to $1 if it's in slightly better shape. But for uncirculated coins in pristine condition, things get interesting. According to recent auction results and collector reports, the current market value of a top-graded 1989 D Washington quarter can range anywhere from $64,000 to as much as $67,920. That's a life-changing amount of money for a single quarter. These are coins that have been preserved in nearly perfect condition for decades and are now considered ultra-rarities by the numismatic community. But how do you know if your 1989 D quarter is worth anything near that much? The first step is to check the coin's condition. Does it have sharp details, no visible wear, and original mint luster? Is the surface clean and free from nicks, scratches, or discoloration? If so, your coin might qualify as mint state, or uncirculated. Next, check for any unusual features. Use a magnifying glass to look closely at the date, the mint mark, and the lettering. If you spot anything that looks like doubling or misalignment, that could be a sign of a valuable error. You may also want to weigh the coin, as some errors involve incorrect plancha weight. Most importantly, if you think your coin might be valuable, don't clean it. That can reduce its value significantly. Instead, send it to a professional coin grading service for authentication and grading. Now you might be wondering why a collector would pay over $60,000 for a coin like this. The answer lies in rarity and condition. The market for high-grade modern coins is growing, and collectors are constantly on the hunt for those rare examples that stand out from the millions produced. A perfectly preserved or error-struck 1989 decoder is like finding a needle in a haystack, and collectors know that. Rarity drives demand, and demand drives price. So if you've got a jar of old quarters lying around, now is the time to go through them carefully. That small, ordinary-looking coin from 1989 with a D mint mark might just be the key to a small fortune. And even if you don't find the big one, getting into coin collecting is a fun and rewarding hobby that can teach you a lot about history, art, economics, and American culture. Before we wrap up, here's a quick checklist to see if your 1989 D Washington quarter could be worth big money. 1. Look for the D mint mark, located on the obverse side, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Point 2. Check the condition. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. Coins graded MS65 and above are especially valuable. Point 3. Use a magnifier to inspect for rare errors like doubling, off-center strikes, or missing design elements. Point 4. Don't clean the coin. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for evaluation. Point 5. Stay up to date with auction records and sales. Market prices can fluctuate depending on collector interest. And there you have it. The incredible story of the 1989 D mint mark Washington quarter, a coin that proves treasure really can be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of rare and valuable coins. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck finding your fortune in loose change. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector or just someone who enjoys finding hidden treasures in your spare change, then you're in for a treat today. Because in this video, we're going deep into the incredible story of the 1993 P Washington quarter. Yes, a regular-looking quarter that could be sitting in your pocket right now. And it might just be worth between $73,000 and $76,557 in today's rare coin market. So make sure you watch all the way through because we'll be covering everything from its history, how to identify the valuable ones, why collectors are paying such insane prices, and how you can check your own change for this potential goldmine. Let's dive right in. The Washington quarter has been a part of American currency since 1932. It was originally introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, and the design was such a hit, it stuck around for decades. Fast forward to 1993, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Washington quarters with the familiar design, and at first glance, the 1993 P Mint mark quarter doesn't seem that special. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, hence the P Mint mark, and over 639 million of these quarters were produced. That's right, hundreds of millions. So how on earth can one of them be worth more than $70,000? Well, here's where it gets really interesting. You see, while most 1993 P quarters are worth just face value, 25 cents, a very small number of these coins were struck with extraordinary quality or with very rare errors that make them extremely valuable to collectors. One of the key reasons for this high value is strike quality. In numismatics, a coin that is struck sharply with full details and no post-mint damage is worth significantly more. Collectors look for coins in mint state condition, typically MS65 or higher, and those that have been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1993 P Washington quarter so valuable in specific cases. First, coin grade matters. The highest known examples of this coin have received grades of MS68 or higher, which is incredibly rare for a business strike coin from 1993. Most coins from circulation are worn down, scratched, or have lost their luster. But when a pristine example surfaces, one with strong luster, no scratches, and razor-sharp detail, collectors are willing to pay thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Second, rarity within high grade is another factor. Even though over 639 million were minted, only a tiny handful are known in near-perfect condition. This drives competition at auctions. One MS-68 example sold for a stunning $73,000, while another one, with slightly better eye appeal and luster, fetched a whopping $76,557. That's right, for a quarter. But wait, there's more. Some of these high-value quarters also have minting errors, which adds another layer of collectability. Errors like off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or broad strikes can increase the coin's value dramatically. If you happen to find a 1993 P quarter with an obvious error, don't spend it. It could be your ticket to a major payday. Here's how you can identify whether your 1993 P Washington quarter might be worth a fortune. First, look at the coin's mint mark, which is the letter P, on the obverse side, near Washington's ponytail. Next, examine the coin's surface. Is it clean? Free of scratches? Shiny? Does it have sharp edges and clear details, especially around Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the back? If so, you might have a coin in mint state condition. Your next step is to weigh the coin. A normal clad quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin is significantly lighter or heavier, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet, which can multiply its value by thousands. Also, use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to look for doubling, especially on the letters and numbers. If you see any unusual doubling, that could indicate a double die error, which is one of the most sought-after errors in numismatics. If your coin seems promising, your best move is to get it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS or NGC will authenticate and grade your coin, which not only gives it credibility but also unlocks its value on the collector's market. Now, let's talk about why collectors are willing to spend over $70,000 for this coin. The coin market has been booming in recent years. With more collectors joining the hobby and fewer top-grade coins available, demand has skyrocketed. The 1993 P quarter in MS-68 is considered a top pop coin, meaning it's one of the best-known examples of its kind. Investors and collectors want the best, and they're willing to pay a premium for it. Combine that with eye appeal, registry set pressure, and the coin's historical context, and you've got a perfect storm of value. Now, for those of you wondering if it's realistic to find one of these in your pocket change, the answer is yes, but it's very rare. Most of the $73,000 to $76,557 examples were found in uncirculated rolls, proof sets, or kept in pristine condition by chance. But every now and then, a collector or treasure hunter stumbles on a gem, and that could be you. So here's what you should do. Check your change. Look at your old coin jars, especially if you've got coins saved from the 90s. If you find a 1993 P quarter, don't just spend it. Inspect it closely. If it looks uncirculated, clean, and sharp, it could be worth getting graded. Even if it's not worth $76,000, it could still bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on condition. Let's recap what makes the 1993 P Washington quarter potentially worth between $73,000 and $76,557. Number 1. It must be in exceptional mint state condition, ideally MS-68 or higher. Number 2. It may have a rare minting error such as a double die or off-center strike. Number 3. It must have strong eye appeal, sharp detail, and luster. And finally, it must be authenticated and graded by a trusted coin grading service. That's it for today's deep dive into the fascinating and highly valuable 1993 P Washington quarter. If you learned something new, or if you're going to check your change right after this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories about rare coins, valuable finds, and tips to build your own coin collection. And if you have a rare coin or suspect you do, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your story. thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting. You never know, that shiny quarter in your pocket could be worth a small fortune. See you in the next video. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel that brings you the most exciting stories from the world of rare coins and hidden treasures. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a valuable update. Now let's get into today's exciting topic, the 1990p mint mark Washington $quarter coin, a seemingly ordinary coin that could be hiding right in your pocket change. But here's the kicker. Some of these coins have sold for as much as $44,000 to $48,117. That's right. 1 quarter. 25 cents. Worth nearly $50,000. So what makes this coin so valuable? Is it rare? Is there an error? Is there something secret behind its design? Stick around because I'm going to break it all down in full detail. First, let's go back in time and talk about the history of the Washington quarter. Introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the quarter featured a design by John Flanagan. Since then, it's been a cornerstone of American coinage. The obverse, or front, of the coin shows a portrait of George Washington, while the reverse design, at the time of the 1990 coin, featured an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, a classic and strong symbol of American power and peace. Now, let's jump forward to 1990. That year, the U.S. Mint produced Washington quarters at multiple facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The quarters made in Philadelphia carry a P mint mark, and that's the mint we're focusing on today. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 613 million Washington quarters in 1990. So if there were so many produced, how is it possible that one could be worth nearly $50,000? Let's find out. Here's where things get interesting. While most of the 1990p quarters are only worth their face value, or maybe slightly more if they're in brilliant uncirculated condition, a tiny handful of them are special. These are the coins that collectors dream of, coins with mint errors, extremely high grades, or rare characteristics that set them apart from the rest. The key to unlocking the massive value behind the 1990p quarter lies in its condition and grading. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC. A coin that scores close to a perfect 70, with no visible marks even under magnification, is called a mint state, or MS coin. A 1990p quarter graded as MS 68 or higher is extremely rare, and that's where the big money starts flowing in. Now, let's talk real numbers. A typical 1990p quarter in circulated condition is only worth 25 cents. If it's in uncirculated condition, maybe you'll get $1 to $5 for it. But if you're lucky enough to find one that's been professionally graded as MS 67 or MS 68, the value can explode. In fact, a few pristine examples have been auctioned off for stunning prices, between $44,000 and $48,117. That's more than most people make in a year. Imagine buying a soda with a quarter and handing away a small fortune without even knowing it. But wait, there's more. Some of these rare 1990p quarters have errors or die varieties that make them even more desirable. These include things like double die obverse, where parts of the image appear doubled, off-center strikes, where the coin is misaligned during minting, and planchet errors, where the metal blank wasn't properly prepared. These types of errors are extremely scarce, and when combined with a high mint state grade, they can push the coin's value through the roof. Another reason this coin is gaining so much attention is that collectors are becoming more and more aware of its value. With growing online marketplaces, coin shows, and grading services, collectors are now able to better track and appraise their coins. That means the once overlooked 1990p quarter is now making headlines and headlines in the numismatic world. So what should you do if you think you have one of these valuable quarters? First, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can reduce its value dramatically. Next, examine it closely under good lighting. Look for any unusual features, doubling, or pristine condition. If it looks promising, consider having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Yes, there's a small fee, but if your coin turns out to be a gem, it could be one of the smartest investments you ever make. And here's a pro tip for all our viewers out there: always check your spare change. Valuable coins like this aren't always found in collectors' albums. Many times, they're sitting in jars, drawers, or even vending machines. Take a few minutes every week to go through your coins. You never know when you'll hit the jackpot. Let's recap what we learned today. The 1990p Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia with over 613 million struck. Most are only worth face value, but a rare few in mint state condition, MS67 or higher, are worth a fortune. Some have errors or die varieties, making them even more valuable. A few of these coins have sold for between $44,000 and $48,117, thanks to pristine condition and rarity. Always inspect your change. You could be holding a small treasure in your pocket. And that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1990p quarter and want more content like this, let us know in the comments. Have you ever found a rare coin? Or maybe you're sitting on a collection and don't even know what treasures are inside. Tell us your story down below. We love hearing from fellow coin enthusiasts. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more valuable coin discoveries, and share this video with your friends and family, because you never know who might be holding on to a $48,000 quarter without even realizing it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy coin hunting. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today's video is going to blow your mind, especially if you've ever overlooked your spare change or ignored a simple quarter in your pocket. Because we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 2021 mintmark Washington $quarter coin, a coin that looks ordinary but could be worth a small fortune. That's right, we're talking about a quarter that has shocked the coin world with a current market value ranging from $66,000 all the way to $71,887. So if you have one of these coins or want to know why collectors are going wild for them, stay tuned as we uncover every detail. Brief history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932. It was introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth and eventually replaced the standing Liberty quarter. Over the years, the quarter has seen several redesigns, from the original eagle on the reverse to the State Quarter series, the America the Beautiful series, and now the newer American Women Quarters program. But in 2021, the final coin from the America the Beautiful series was released, the Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site Quarter, marking an end to an era and making that year's coin especially significant to collectors. About the 2021 Washington quarter. The 2021 mintmark quarter was struck at the Denver Mint. Like its Philadelphia counterpart, it features the same obverse with a portrait of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan. But what makes the 2021 quarter stand out is the reverse design. It honors the heroic legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen, the first African-American military aviators in the U.S. Armed Forces. The design shows a Tuskegee Airman pilot standing proudly in front of a P-51 Mustang airplane, with the Moton Field Control Tower in the background, an iconic symbol of the site. Below the image is the powerful phrase, "They fought 2 wars," referring to their battle against fascism abroad and racial discrimination at home. Why is this coin worth so much? Now let's get into the burning question: how can a 25-cent coin from 2021 be worth over $70,000? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, errors, condition, and collector demand. Let's break it down. Minting errors. One of the biggest reasons behind the high value of some 2021 quarters is minting errors. We're talking about dramatic die breaks, off-center strikes, double dies, and even struck-through grease errors. Some coins exhibit multiple errors at once, such as doubling on the motto, "In God We Trust," and die chips on Washington's mouth, often referred to as the drooling George error. When these errors are found on a coin with a low mintage from a specific die pair, collectors pay a premium, sometimes a huge high-grade condition, coins graded MS67 or MS68 by top grading services like PCGS or NGC are extremely rare, especially in modern issues. A 2021 D quarter in pristine condition, showing no signs of wear, sharp details, and flawless luster, can skyrocket in value. Some of the most expensive ones ever sold were in MS68 condition and featured one or more unique mint errors. Low population reports. According to recent population reports, there are very few examples of the 2021 D Washington quarter graded in ultra-high mint state grades with rare errors. This creates intense competition among collectors looking to complete sets, especially those focused on error coins, modern rarities, or Tuskegee Airmen-themed memorabilia. Historic significance. The fact that the 2021 quarter commemorates the Tuskegee Airmen makes it historically and culturally important. It's the last coin in the America the Beautiful series and represents a turning point in U.S. coinage. This alone makes it a must-have for serious numismatists. Notable auction sales. Let's look at some real-world examples. In early 2024, a 2021 D quarter featuring a dramatic off-center strike combined with a retained cud and a die clash was sold at auction for $66,000. Just a few months later, another example, graded MS68 with a prominent double die obverse, fetched a staggering $71,887 in a private collector sale. These are jaw-dropping numbers for modern coinage, and they've caused a ripple effect across the entire coin market. What to look for in your pocket change, you may be wondering. How do I know if I have one of these valuable 2021 D quarters? Here are the key things to look for. First, check the reverse. Does it feature the Tuskegee Airmen standing by the airplane? If so, you have the right design. Flip to the obverse and look for a D mint mark near the bottom right side of Washington's ponytail. Inspect closely for any doubling. On the date, the phrase, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty." Use a magnifying glass or microscope for best results. Examine the coin for cuds, cracks, or areas that look unusually raised or pressed. These are signs of die breaks and other errors. Is the coin off-center, or does it have any missing parts of the design? That could also make it very valuable. Finally, check the coin's condition. A coin in uncirculated condition with mint luster is much more valuable than one that's scratched or worn. What to do if you have one? If you think you've found a valuable 2021 D quarter, don't spend it. Here's what you should do. Handle with care. Use gloves or hold it by the edges to avoid fingerprints. Get it graded. Submit it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade is critical to determining the value. Do your research. Look up similar coins online, on auction sites, and check coin forums to compare. Sell wisely, don't rush. Contact reputable dealers or sell through well-known auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections to get the best price. Conclusion: the 2021 D Washington $quarter coin might be the modern treasure you've been overlooking. With a design honoring American heroes, mint errors that drive up its rarity, and a collector frenzy that's driving prices into the tens of thousands, this is one coin you absolutely need to look out for. Its current market value, between $66,000 and $71,887, makes it one of the most valuable modern quarters to date. So check your pocket change, your coin jars, and your old rolls. You might just be holding on to a fortune. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a rare coin update. And let us know in the comments if you found any rare quarters lately. Until next time, happy hunting and may your next coin be a valuable one.